Hey, everybody, and welcome back to our weekly marketing motivation. My name is Jean Grunert. I am the owner of Seven Oaks Consulting. I'm fractional chief marketing officer, marketing consultant, and my focus is primarily on content marketing and SEO. I am here today because over the weekend I saw somebody post a graphic saying there are 40 types of SEO. And that really kind of threw me for a loop because, as far as I know, there's only one type of SEO, good SEO. And so today I just came up with a little analogy to kind of share with you my feelings on this and talk to you about the basics of SEO. So if you're ready, let's take a quick look. I have a PowerPoint. You guys know I love my good PowerPoints. On the screen, we're going to take a look at this question. Are there really 40 types of SEO? A few thoughts. So my analogy today is to the ice cream cone, right? Now, you've seen Baskin Robbins, I think. I think they say there are 40 flavors available or something like that. I started thinking about ice cream and SEO, and maybe it's because I love ice cream. I don't know. But ice cream has one formula. The basic ice cream formula is the same. It's cream, sugar, a few other things. It's churned and chilled and cooled, and that makes the base. Flavorings are then added to the ice cream to change it to vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, peach, whatever. And then human creativity has come up with all sorts of great stuff. And we've added, chocolate chips and made chocolate chip ice cream and peppermint, which is one of my favorites. I made peppermint flavored, and there's Rocky Road and, Milky Way ice cream. There's like a million flavors of ice cream. I don't know if there's a million, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The basic formula of ice cream, however, has not changed. It is still the same. SEO is like ice cream. The basic formula of good SEO has not changed. Now, I want to emphasize that because so many people are confused. They're thinking AI has changed the basic formula of SEO. There's on page and technical, and these are different types of SEO. No, it is all under the umbrella of SEO, just like all the flavors of ice cream is ice cream. What changes is like when you're adding flavorings to your ice cream base and you're making vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, or Rocky Road, you're changing the flavor of the ice cream, but you're not changing it from ice cream to a donut or a candy bar. SEO is like that too, guys. The flavor changes, and I would even suggest the flavor of the day. 20 years ago, when I was doing SEO, when I just started out as a consultant on my own, we were using mathematical formulas, and these formulas were applied to keyword phrases, and that told you how many times to use it in the copy. Well, that went away. We then saw article spinners, and then we saw the age of people hiring lots and lots of writers to churn out low quality or low cost, I should say, content. And then that went away because Google keeps updating the algorithm. The basics of SEO, however, that underpin every Google algorithm update have never changed. These basics are things like, okay, these are the 40 flavors of SEO, but they're things like good organic SEO, right? Are you doing things like creating original content, writing for people first, search engine second, structuring your content for easy reading? AI loves that, but people need that too. They need to know what's the heading. They can't look at giant blocks of text. They need subheadings. They need bullet points, including links so that people can look for additional content, but so can search engines. And always doing the right thing, being original. Original thoughts, definitely original writing, and when you can, original images too. Either take them yourself, create them, whatever. But the more original content you can provide, the better the SEO. There are not 40 different flavors of, there are, 40 flavors, I guess you'd say, of SEO, but that's not different types. Doing paid or SEO, on page or off page or whatever, it's all part of the same thing. It's just getting your content out there and getting it recognized by Google. And the basics of good SEO have never changed. What has changed is all of these names marketers throw at all the different types. We talk about local versus organic versus link building versus all part and parcel of good SEO. You're just bringing it down into the minutia of it, or talking about the flavor as if it's the thing, talking about chocolate as if it's the only flavor of ice cream out there. It's not. There are many different flavors. The base has not changed. So I disagree with that young lady. I really feel like, we have lost sight of the ice cream for the flavor. I think marketers are really good at coming up with a million different ways to describe the same thing. We're good at putting names on things. We're excellent at acronyms. Oh my gosh, I saw more acronyms yesterday when I was scrolling through LinkedIn. I kept having to stop and Google them. I mean, I've been a marketer my whole life, like 30 some odd years at this point, and they keep coming up with new acronyms to say the same thing. It's flavors, guys. It's just flavors of the same thing. Good SEO is good SEO, regardless of whether you're doing it on page or off. The one thing I would caution you about is not trying to game the system or the so-called what they call black hat SEO. I would never try and manipulate Google links. I would never suggest you do it either. You'll only get in trouble. You may see a little bounce temporarily, but it's never good in the long run. So what's the best way to get the authentic and the latest on SEO? Look at Google's blog, look at Search Engine Lands, look at all of the traditional websites that cover this. Come back to our channel, because when new articles come out, like that really cool one that had the study on the use of AI content, I love sharing stuff like that with you, and I will share it. But keep in mind that all of this talk about the different types of SEO is looking at the trees instead of the forest. There may be 100 different types of trees out there in my woods right now because I live in the middle of a forest, but it's only one forest. We would only talk about it as the forest. We wouldn't talk about the individual trees unless we were, doing something special with them. So I would caution you not to get too wrapped up in all these different, quote, types of SEO. Start with the basics and you will still get traffic to your site. Yes, things are changing. I'm seeing all sorts of crazy things coming up in metrics on websites I'm looking at. But what I do see is that companies that continue to apply the basics of good SEO continue to get results. Results are changing, things are changing, there's new things to try. But at the end of the day, it's all one flavor of ice cream. Give good content, create original content, optimize it for people first, search engines second, make sure it's linked so the search engines can find it, and share it with your readers. My name is Jean Grunnett. I am a marketing consultant. I serve as a fractional chief marketing officer and content strategist for numerous companies. My company is Seven Oaks Consulting. We would love to help you with your SEO, your content marketing, marketing leadership, or even proposal writing needs, because I also do that as a specialty. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.